Now, a total of 19 wards are being contested as well in the Eastern Cape. Rainy weather, however, in Umzimvubu is municipalities already impacting voter turnout, unfortunately, in the area. But the polls opened on time in the 13 municipalities holding those by-elections. Our reporter Mcebisi Ngqina, who is in East London, has more for us on this story.
Good afternoon. The voting is still continuing in the Eastern Cape. 19 wards from the 30 municipalities. We visited a number of stations around the Bisho area, but what I can tell you, the numbers were very low at that time in the morning, but they only started picking up around 9 o'clock. People started trickling in to cast their vote, but now we're just inside the office of the provincial electoral officer in this province, Mcebisi Ngqina, who's just going to give us an update of what has been happening in the province during this day of the by-elections. Ma'am, thank you so much for your time, and also welcome to SABC. Yes. Just give us an update of the overall update of what has been happening in the province today during these by-elections.
Thank you very much for having us. Well, the elections are happening in all the 117 voting stations. Of course, we had problems in the former Transkei where we had muddy roads this morning, but we managed to open all voting stations in the province with the exception of one where we're still having challenges in Amahlati in Fort Cox. There is a mob of the community outside the voting station, and they are not allowing us to vote. They've actually locked the voting station itself, which is a primary school, and they've locked the gate. But we are now setting up a gazebo so that if there's anyone that is willing to vote, is able to vote. Of course, they are harassing those that are actually wanting to queue because we're almost done with the setting up of the station, but SAPS and the public order police have arrived in the station to make sure that there is no one that is intimidated.
Can we expect then in that voting station an extension of the closing time?
Extension of closing time happens only if the parties make that request. We are opening the voting station. I'm sure we are opening soon if we have not opened, because it was just 2 minutes ago when I spoke to the regional supervisor of that municipality saying that they're actually setting up the gazebo and they are ready to go. But when it comes to now the request of an extension, if the political parties in that municipalities are doing that request this afternoon, we'll surely escalate that to the commissioners and the commission will take a decision.
The weather conditions, I know yesterday when you spoke, you were very concerned that you were hoping that the weather will improve today. My colleagues from the side of Kapacha and Manfred, they are saying it's raining cat and dogs on that side, which also had an impact in the voter turnout. In terms of that, is there any contingency plans or sort of impact that the weather conditions had in people coming up to vote?
Whenever the weather conditions are not good, people tend to stay away from our voting stations. But our hope is that you'll remember that these vacancies have been there for a long time. Surely they do need these leaders in their own wards. We are appealing to our voters to please visit our voting stations. We are ready to assist them.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. That was the provincial electoral officer in this province, Mcebisi Ngqina, just giving an update of what has been happening in all these 19 wards that are contesting these by-elections here today in the Eastern Cape. From my side and my colleague, Mcebisi Ngqina, back to you in studio.